Hi, St. Martin. This is Peter J. Gittins, Deputy Leader of the St. Martin Christian Party and candidate number 4 on the list for this upcoming election. I'm inviting you to tune in every Wednesday right here on Pearl FM 98.1 for State of the Nation. State of the Nation, an informed look at the issues facing St. Martin. State of the Nation, sound, balanced, and progressive solutions for country St. Martin. State of the Nation, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. right here on Pearl 98.1 FM. Good afternoon, everyone locked into Pearl FM 98.1, St. Martin's finest radio station. Yeah, man, look, Pearl behind the mic, they're laughing. Whether you're tuned in by radio, whether you're on our Facebook page, we want to say welcome to State of the Nation, brought to you by the St. Martin Christian Party. That's right, State of the Nation, giving you our thoughts, our views as to what's going on in the political sphere, in the social sphere. Everything St. Martin is what we talk about here on State of the Nation. My name is Peter J. Gittins. I'm sitting in for our regular host, Miss Lisa Renee Wilson, who could not be here today, but we send her greetings and all the best, and I'm looking forward to seeing her next week. So I'm trying to hold on and fill her big shoes and be the host for today. Of course, joining me on the program are two of my fellow candidates for the upcoming election slated for January the 9th, 2020. They'll be running on the list with me, and it gives me great pleasure to have them here with me, none other than the lovely Miss Linda York and also Alberto Butte, the one and only, the original Butte. Yeah, that's how I refer to him, the original Butte. The rest copies. I want to welcome you both to the program. How are you guys doing today?
Not too bad, thanks, bless God.
I'm fine, I'm good, I'm feeling ready.
Right, good. All right. Well, let's just dive straight into the program today. There's lots going on out there, and every week we touch base with the candidates, and we talk a little bit about the issues and what's affecting St. Martin, etc. But before we dive into that, how about you just give us a little bit about yourself, your background. Let's start. That was the ladies first, so we'll start with Linda, and then we'll go over to Alberto.
Good afternoon, radio listeners. My name is Linda York. I am happy and I am blessed to be a part of the St. Martin Christian Party. It has been my desire for many years to see such take place. Meanwhile, when our land has a godly king reigning, the people will rejoice. But when they have an ungodly king reigning, they will mourn, they will sigh, they will sorrow. The children will reach as far as eating dung and drinking the urine. So I am happy for this party that came out. My heart is going out to youths as well as senior citizens. I want to see a better future that is ahead for the youths. Too often we have too many fights and too many reveling in schools and so forth. And I think we need, as the elder heads, to look more forward and take more time out with the children, as well as the elders that have served the community. I think it is very much worthy that we can prepare places for them, that they can have a better life living after a time span.
Thank you very much. Okay, we go over to the anchor. I call him the anchor, the original Butte.
Yes.
Holding up the number 13 spot.
Yes, sir. Thank you, your listeners and all those online. My name is Alberto Butte, and as many know me, I've been advocating for many years in the social field, in the union. I've been a sales representative by the UFA, athlete. I played especially football on the French side. I'm a father of 3, etc. And what I advocate, and I believe deeply in looking out after the poor, the needy, because I believe that's a voice that doesn't have, or that's an entity that doesn't have its own voice. And as God raised some of us is to go out there and to speak on their behalf or to take action on their behalf. So as such, my heart is always for those most vulnerable in this society. And I stands up, and everything that I've done over the past 35 years here in St. Martin has been exactly to represent them, and it's as a parent will do towards their kids, such, I believe my calling deeply is towards the most vulnerable in the society.
Good, good. Glad to hear that, and this is something that is very near and dear to the St. Martin Christian Party as a unit. Linda started off by talking about those that are in need, and you followed suit, and people out there need to realize that, yes, we do need infrastructure. We need all of these different things to progress as a country. But one of the most important things is the people. The real deep social issues. If the people are not okay, the country can never be okay. You could promise to build 1,000 houses today, but if the people are not all right and able to afford those homes, that's a problem. If the people's mindset, if they're not mentally ready, that's a problem. If they're not financially prepared and offered, the opportunities that they need, that's a problem. If they don't have proper health care, that's a problem. All of these are the issues that we're going to be touching today because, it's election time. And I can tell you out there now, people, you're going to get all sorts of promises. You're going to get promises left, right, and center. And one of the things that I really admire about us as a party is that we don't just talk, we do.
Yes.
So we can talk about what we've done.
Yeah.
And then based on that, when we speak about what we're going to do, you can stand up and say, yes, that's the party that I want to support. That's the party that I want to vote for. And it's the St. Martin Christian Party.
And as a young party, put emphasis on that because we only been allowed to sit there for a year, you understand me? And our true intention was to really bring that stability to government. Our intention also has always been also to that transparency issue that needs to be throughout government, to see to it that it's applied throughout, the good governance issue, all those sort of things. But sadly, we were only being given one seat, but with the one seat, we managed to have kept government together at the time. But as I said earlier in the program today, they couldn't keep their act together, and sadly, that's the result. That's why we're here today. That takes away absolutely nothing from the St. Martin Christian Party, from pursuing what's truly what we stand for, you understand me? And that's what we're going to bring to the general public, and especially why they need to give us their confidence, their vote, so we can realize this for them in this upcoming term.
Great, and I agree with you totally. You're talking about stability, and I know that's a word that's been played out. As a matter of fact, I was speaking to a group of people today, and I realized that there's a lot of things that the St. Martin Christian Party brought to the table 2 elections ago that everybody kind of jumped on the bandwagon.
Yes.
I keep repeating it over and over again. Stability was one of those words. Accountability was the next word. Transparency was another word.
And let me interject this one. The St. Martin Christian Party is the only party that signed the declaration, the anti-poverty declaration. The only party that did. Today, Jack, Peter, Paul, everybody talking about eradication of poverty. Today, everybody has it that's their tune. But the St. Martin Christian Party is the only one that dared to sign against all odds, because when it was not politically correct to have done so, the St. Martin Christian Party signed the declaration. Everybody said, yes, we agree with this, we agree with that. Poverty is poverty. No matter how you look at it, it still stinks. You understand me? And the St. Martin Christian Party put its signature behind that declaration there, as it was presented by the anti-poverty platform. Today, we have all sorts of candidates that are running left, right, saying poverty is sweeping, poverty this, poverty that, etc. Everything has been known by everyone in the society. What poverty has done is only Irma came to solidify what being said by the anti-poverty platform, and also endorsed by the St. Martin Christian Party.
Correct.
That poverty sit in this society has been on the line there, sitting down, and incubating throughout the society. So Irma did it. No politicians, as usual, they're like iguanas, when it comes to a leaf, they will change their color and whatever have you. They're changing, and now they're on the same wagon. So now is the time the truth needs to be put forward and let people know, hey, listen, don't listen to those gimmicks, don't fall for those lies, because it is the very same. They don't have it in their heart, and they're not going to change things around when times comes around. You understand me? And so we're going to go today, Peter, also, we're talking about money in elections, because people need to know that money influences decision making, and if people is looking for true representation, if people are truly looking for representation, then you have to know that the influence behind certain money, it stand a chance of diminishing your representation. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, we stand here, we try to do our best, especially me as a candidate, etc. Try to do it out of pocket, and almost all of the members are trying their best to do it out of pocket, and that's the way we can guarantee you that you will get the best representation, because when we speak not only from the heart, we can take a decision knowing that we owe no one anything.
Well, let's dive a little bit deeper into these issues, because we're bringing them up, and I don't want to just scratch the surface. You know, we got several programs coming up before elections, but I want to go as deep as possible as we can. Let's start off with the money in politics first. Let's jump straight in there. Up to when I was coming here, I stopped off at the pharmacy. I was picking up some medication for someone, and coming out of the pharmacy, I was stopped by two persons. Peter, we're not seeing the big billboards. I ain't seeing nothing of the party. What's going on? We know that the party is running. We know that you're running, but we're not seeing that visibility out there. You know, and like you so adequately said, it's difficult. It's really difficult to go and put up a poster that, you know, we all know, we all in the same field, running you $700, $800 for each poster, and then, you know, to say that it's there when there are people out there in need, there are people out there really suffering, you know, and these are the people that you're going to. It was one of those decisions that we had to take as a party. You know, what are we going to do? And yes, we may look at putting up a little something as a group in the future to see, you know, just to let people know this is the team that wants to represent you in Parliament. But you're not going to see it flying all over the place, you know, wastage of material, stuff like that. And like you so adequately said, Butte, you know, it is something that people need to realize and to take note of. Linda, you want to chime in there?
Yeah, because actually, St. Martin Christian Party, as far as I'm seeing, is not a party of usury. They does not take up usury. Actually, they're there to help. So they are not wasting their substances on things that is not irrelevant. Of course, there will be a poster with each and every one to come out so everybody can know who you are. But to waste money and say that we are boasting this and boasting that, we are not there for that. We are there to help the nation and save and put into people's hands. We are not paying for any votes, because freely we believe, and truly we believe, that if we are in for Christ's sake, then God will put you in place. So you don't need to purchase nobody's vote and then lie to them about a situation. You are just remaining who you are, and you are being who you are.
I want the radio listeners and those of you viewing as well to really understand that as a party, you know, we are there to represent you, the people. Our motto is serving for a change, and we're here to serve the people for change. And this is something that has been so loosely thrown about in the political sphere for so long, you know, but we have lived it. We have proven that we're there to serve, and we are proven that as representatives of the people, we are their voice. But there's a flip side of that, and I'm calling on the people of St. Martin to realize that just how we are there as your voice during campaign time, you are our voice. You are our media stream. You are our Facebook. You are our radio. You are our newspaper. You are our everything, because we are also turning to you to go out there. If you're listening, turning to you, go out and talk to your brother, talk to your sister, talk to your auntie, your uncle, your neighbor, your friends, the people that you work with. If you have a business, the people that you employ, talk to them. And we expect you to spread that good word and tell people, you know what? There is a party out there that is a viable choice, and that is the St. Martin Christian Party. They're not only talking the talk, but they've proven by walking the walk as well. With that said, now let's touch a little bit on the poverty issue, and this, and my gosh, this I know this is one of those things that hit home. You know, there are people out there who are really hurting and in need. You know, this morning I came from up Century Hill, visiting a lady up there. We just finished fixing her roof, trying our best to get her back in her house for Christmas, because she's one of those people that was in the the temporary housing situation in Sucker Garden from government, and they're closing that down come December. So she needs to find a place to go, you know. So we're trying our best to see if we can get her up and running as quickly as possible. And as I move through, I realize, hey boy, when you think you move and you see, every time you go back, you see something else.
Yeah.
You know, and it's reaching really deep. Talk to us a little bit about that. Talk to us about your plans. What is it that's on your platform for the people of St. Martin as it relates to poverty?
Put it this way, you know, good or bad, Irma exposed the truth. Sadly, many, like myself and many others, lost a lot during Irma. But some of us were more fortunate to be standing on our legs because of maybe having a more balanced portfolio in life. But so many folks, you know, lost their job, lost all of the job, disappeared. People had to start from the bottom and start all over again, because not even the company that they used to work for exists no longer, not even on papers, because job, restaurant being destroyed, the tourism industry, etc. That's become very difficult. We all experience it. People putting food on their table, etc. Roofs up to this day ain't what it's supposed to be, because if you read a report, there were 13,000 homes, and this is not we saying, this is a report from the NRPP that state that, you know, together jointly with the research that was done and endorsed by the World Bank, etc. So this is not Youth's word, this is not anti-poverty platforms, etc. We see very little done. We saw just a couple of 100 homes. We could look in the report from the Ombudsman that has been repaired. A couple of 100 homes, you know, the total figure that was given for repairs. So we have a long way to go to bring that stability. We need to be building 3,000 to 4,000 homes, or restoring and build back better homes on this island here for the next 2 years or 3 years. You understand? So what about now? Folks that had to start now over with less than a minimum wage once more again, because certain businesses just couldn't afford it, or certain businesses were just taking advantage of people needing job, you know, and paying them, you know, below minimum wage for long hours, etc. So poverty has been rampant, and you know, for us to be so irresponsible during a time like this, and to say that we're going to look after our own needs only, in the sense that we're going to throw down government, or we jumping ship and doing these things here, and instead of stabilizing this country, whereby we can now put the program for development in place, so we could faster recover, you understand me? That will caught us also as SMCP in all of this quagmire situation here, you understand me? And that we are back at it now today, and we're saying no, but we're going to stick to the program, because we has been a party that stood up for the poor, the needy, because that is it's a biblical mandate that we have, and we're going to continue on that route. Now, the program that I implemented here by the Whitefall building is one, because I've been talking about it. We presented report. We spoke in Parliament. We talked to ministers about this issue here. They took it not seriously.
I'm not cutting you across, but you mentioned the program on the Pondfield. I think we need to reverse.
Okay.
And you know what? I ain't even gonna wait on you. I am going to tell the people the program Butte is talking about is a program that he developed. Now remember, people, when I said that the St. Martin Christian Party, we not only talk the talk, we walk the walk. I'm very proud of my candidates on this list. Now, if you pass the Whitefall on any given day now, on the Pondfield, you'd realize that there's some nice red tents and some tarpaulin that they set up outside. And ever so often, every day you pass, you see some people. On certain days, you see more than normal. And the reason for that is that there is a project that Butte implemented, and I'm so proud of him, where we're seeing the fresh fruits, the fresh vegetables coming in that the average man can come and afford, and reasonably. I said, and I can't even say it's beyond reasonably, because you know, I've seen people walk away with $5, $10 worth of produce, boxes, but they're walking away with a box and holding it and going across the road with a car.
And it brings joy to your heart.
And it brings joy to my heart. It brought joy to that.
Yes.
Now you can continue and talk about this program because people need to realize you're not just talking the talk.
No.
You're walking the walk. You made the investment.
Yes,
you made the
yes.
steps. You
Took
did the research.
took the risk
And
also.
took the risk.
Took the risk. I didn't go to any businessman and ask them, I need this to do this for the people. But I took personal risk to be able to realize this because I wanted to not only help people but to prove a point that this thing exists deeply in our country. Now, no one can erase that again. Over 7,000 families now have been blessed through this program here. And I don't see any World Bank program or anything that have blessed so many folks in this society. You understand me?
And of course, you're taking the stats with you, so you have the list.
We have the list.
We have the information.
We have the
signature
visitors. We have the WhatsApp thing, and people know that when the next container's in, which is Saturday now, they know that they can come for their blessing because now, truly, I can remember my good friend Theophilus Thompson always talk about stretch the dollar. Now it's been elasticized because now you can see that way it's truly stretching. People are leaving the fair happy because they can now have a 2-week supply. They can purchase. They see their 100 kilo or 50 kilo now truly have more power.
More bang for the buck.
Yes, etc. But above that, Peter, is that when people are robbed of their money, that they have to settle for the least. First of all, forgetting the least in terms of quantity of food, forgetting the least when it comes to quality, and of course they rob of their health simultaneously. They have to settle for cheap Bosters as an imitation soda, orange, imitation grape, because they say want to drink something sugary, etc. But now they can come to the fair. They can first of all, for very little money, purchase quality goods. You understand me? For decent, affordable money. You understand me? And also know that simultaneously this works in favor of they and their family where health is concerned. So throughout this program, you're seeing that people are being blessed by this program here, and I was not out on social media making it known that I'm the one doing it, but it come a given moment you let people know that all praise and glory to God. Amen. You understand me? And He called me to do this, and I will stand there as long as it takes to continue bringing this benefit here and more. Because we do have more plans into 2020 to continue blessing the people, because we need to break barriers in this country, because too long there was a system silently set up that has worked against the people. It worked in politics, it was endorsed, it was also sustained or given the political backing, and people have been oppressed over the years, you understand me? And because of this, God has shown us to break the chain, break financial chain, restore the people's health, bring happiness back to the people, and more can be done. All we are asking the general public to do, trust this team, because we are on the right track. Trust this team. There's many more issues that personally I and also the SMCP team will be introducing in the coming years, but we need now more than ever to guarantee representation in Parliament. We need an overwhelming support now, that we sit there, not that we're sitting now on a needle, for example, in government, that we're sitting comfortable, that we can raise our voice and represent the people in Parliament this time around, because we have proven with a little, but just we couldn't keep the bad boysism in check. But now with a truly mandate from the people, we know that we can have these legislation and increase the food basket for the people. So we want to see fruits, we want to see vegetables, but something people are not talking about. We have single mothers. We want to see, for example, baby food and Pampers
coming up next
on a list for protection. Yes,
coming up next.
Yes, we want to see these things here. That people can have affordability, because mothers and most home, consist of single mothers and they're squeezing, you understand me? They have to work double job. How can they raise a family? We have a problem also with absentee fathers, etc. But we need to be able to put legislation in place also and put funding in place for daycare where they will get assistance to put their kids, because it is hard to be paying $180 and $200 from a 1,500 guilders for daycare for baby. It is difficult. You understand?
It's beyond difficult. You know, I had a young lady by me yesterday that I know very well, that I grew up with, and I just saw the look on her face, and I was like, "What's wrong? What is wrong?" I said, "Nothing, Peter." I was like, "You could tell that to somebody else." You know, I know you. You know, something is wrong, and you know, I've been seeing her for quite a while. Every time, okay, everything all right. But yesterday, I think she couldn't take it anymore. You know, and here she is again, making a little bit above minimum wage, but a single mother, you know, has her child, and her child is in preschool. And at one point in time, she told me, "Peter, my daughter was out of preschool all last month." I said, "But why? What happened to the child? She's sick. What's wrong?" She said, "No, I couldn't afford to pay."
Hold it there, Peter. Peter, a couple of years ago, I went up against the schools. It was the academy school, and I took back kids in school, and I informed the then director, Mr. Franz James, and the board, and they kept action against them. And when PGD2, it was all in the air, letting them know that you don't violate the rights of the child, and what the school them are doing is a violation of the right of the child. And we have to come down on all school boards. Nobody can put children out of school. It's not a favor. And they lost court cases because of this issue. You understand me? So look, the representatives, they're there. You understand? And I came down very strong on the good gentleman. I think it's 2009. He died in 2008, January 1st. Okay, 2007. And single-handedly went to the school and brought back more than a dozen kids back in the school and said, "Vance, what you guys are doing is wrong, and you know it's against the law." And I brought it up then at the time with the then leader of government, and they said, "The kids are protected under the law. Make sure that no school in St. Martin that receives subsidies from government or a government school ever put a child out of school." You understand me? And this need to be reported. You understand? Because they cannot, and people are not obligated to pay school fee. I doesn't encourage it. But we want abuse of children, you understand, by putting them out of school.
You disguise it and you give it another name, parental contribution.
That's where they came up.
And all of these different
names. It came up there because of my action that I took in 2007. So this should put an end, and they should bring the child back in school. Bring the child immediately back in school. You understand me?
Again.
And report this, because this needs to be reported, because these schools are receiving the subsidy for teaching our children, you understand me? And if they want, most of these schools, what they have to do is cut back on their fat, their extra expenditures that they got there, because they're receiving sufficiently to carry out education. But no child should, the rights of the child need to be protected.
And these are things that need to be said, you know.
Yes.
Some people might not like it.
Yeah.
But it needs to be said.
Yeah.
You know, we've spent the last year and change. Of course, most folks know that our leader, MP, now Wycliffe Smith, was Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport. And this was one of the things that, you know, he did a great job at. The team did an excellent job of making sure this information got out to the public, because before, everything used to be the minister, the minister, the minister, the minister. And no way the onus was put on the school boards, who were responsible for a lot of the craziness that was going on. And like you said, they need to cut back on the fat, you know. So cut back on giving the school board members, you know, that cell phone, the Christmas season and the bonus laptops and all of these different things, and put the money
towards education and efficiency
on the students. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones that deserve it, and that's where the money needs to be spent.
But what we need also strongly is that we truly put the legislations in place to finish off the job. Because they lack a lot of legislation. Again, money is not being budgeted to truly have lawmakers to truly finalize these issues. So
we're going to get those things done, and I'm urging the people, put us back in there.
Amen.
Give us that shot.
Yeah.
Give us more than that one seat. Give us that leverage so that
Yes.
we can go back in there.
Yes.
You see Minister Smith at the time he came in,
Yeah.
and he has done some great work.
Yeah.
You know, so we saw the study financing ordinance coming to pass.
Yes.
We saw all these other things.
The
coming to pass.
USM, we now saw the issue of the USM.
And it's coming to pass.
Yes.
One of the things with USM that needs to be finalized is the ordinance on tertiary education.
Yeah.
You know, so that they're officially on the books, and that we can continue to support them.
Yeah.
That we can continue to support and reach out to other organizations such as NEPA,
Yeah.
which is another thing that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
But you know, I'll let Linda chime in a little bit, because
Yes, sir.
we're talking about poverty, especially here today, and I know, you know, Soccer Garden area, and I know that's something over there that I know you have dealt with. Your thoughts?
Well, I am busy right now trying to see if I can get authorization from the government to use a certain part of the property to help the nation. I'm seeing too many children on the street that is out of school, and my heart hurts. So I want to be able, as I teach 6 years at Defiance Learning Center, I want to be able to teach these children. I have done biblical courses on teaching as well, technology and so forth. So I want to be able to be there for the children. It's not about me. I've already lived my life. It's to see the youths them turn out to be something and find an occupation and get an education.
You know, that's a very wonderful thing, Linda, and I commend you. I commend you for that. And don't worry, you know, my slogan is together we can. And I think together, you know, not just us as candidates, but the people of St. Martin, as they realize that the St. Martin Christian Party is the party that is out there, not just talking about the social issues, but actually addressing them, touching them, and getting the hands down in the mud and in the dirt to make sure that we can go back and say, hey, look, in the talk, look, this is what we have done. You know, today somebody just texted me and said, Peter, man, you ain't even taking a break today. Too hot today to take a break, man. We ain't taking no break today. We going straight through. You know, and in the studios with me, for those who just joined, this is the State of the Nation, brought to you by the St. Martin Christian Party. I am Peter J. Gittins, candidate number 4. In the studios with me, Linda York, also one of the candidates, and of course, number 10, and Alberto Butte, the original Butte, the anchor man for the party, holding up the number 13 spot. And of course, today we're touching the issues that I believe are really close to the people. And we're talking about poverty. We're talking about the alleviation of poverty.
No, alleviation, no. Eradication.
Thank you for the correction.
Yes.
Because it's something that we need to.
Poverty, you don't alleviate. No.
Yeah.
You come back and
come back and grow
bite
back.
your heart. Yes.
Like a little cancer.
Yes.
Talk to me, Linda.
As example, I can make it clearly known there are many people that is residing on the property by my father that I has given authorization to live as homeless people because they don't have a home, and I'm not just speaking that I want to cry out for the voice of the people to help the people, but I'm demonstrating help to the people. Most of them has been given 7 months free to live, 5 months free to live, because it's not about money, it's about care. It's about TLC, tender loving care. And when you can reach out for the nation, then the nation can reach out for you. So people out there, asking, I'm not begging because we are not beggars. I'm asking you all to make a change by giving St. Martin Christian Party a chance to prove to you who they are. We are not making promises, but we are applying works. We are moving and showing what we have in store for you. God bless you.
Great. You know, and as you said that, you know, I want to say good afternoon as well to our leader, MP Smith. I know he's a little bit busy. He may not be or may be listening. Good afternoon to you, and of course to the rest of the team, all the other candidates on the list as well. They want to say good afternoon to you. And you know, something just popped in my head when you said that. You know, I remembered Benji, we call him Benjamin Bell, candidate number 6 on the list, another upstanding candidate that I'm very proud of. You know, he always says change without change is not change. And he is right. You know, you cannot, people, vote and put the same people in over and over and over and over again and expect things to change. It is not happening. The St. Martin Christian Party has shown our involvement in Parliament, and our then candidate who was there, MP Clark Peterson Chacho, that we brought that stability again, and people throwing this word out loosely, but even our coalition partners had to say, the problem was not, and they said it out loud, the problem was not the St. Martin Christian Party. And it isn't that the St. Martin Christian Party was going along to get along. We were not going along to get along. We pointed out everything that was going around. We put it on the table like good coalition partners. We said, hey, we need to speak about this. We had discussions and we moved from there. And I'm asking the people now, give us, like Butte said, that overwhelming majority, because we want to do more. We want to take it further. We want to increase, not for us, but for you, the people of St. Martin, that ability to have that level playing field, that ability to be able to come in and be comfortable. Butte is out there doing a great job with his food program on the Bush Road. For those of you not joining us, on the Pondfield, right by the Whitefall. And people are going home feeling good about themselves.
Yes,
they're feeling great about themselves because they can afford to stretch that dollar. They can afford to get a little more. It benefits them not just financially. It benefits them health-wise. It benefits them mentally.
Yeah.
That ability to not have that stress killing people.
Yes. And I never knew that our people love provisions so much.
Yeah, man.
Yam and sweet potato, especially coming this time around. You need sweet potato for the tarts and all those things.
And I'm gonna put in the plug. The next container coming the 14th this Saturday, 14th of December this Saturday.
But listen,
I put in the plug for you.
What shocked us, I mean, it was not a shock, but we really lived it, was the previous container, because this one, they came in month end, the other one came in the middle of the month. You know who we missed in the line of the one that came in the middle of the month? The pensioners. The little meager pension they collect, it couldn't reach for them for 15 days after. Because I'm pretty sure many of them was making decisions between medicine or food. You understand? And to us, to me and to the anti-poverty platform, myself, being part of that, we've been championing for years, because the meager pension, we have not put attention to the pension, because all of us were working back then, but many people didn't know that this social pension that was in place from the days of the Netherlands Centralese would have failed them today. You understand me? And the average, I'm saying, pension that is being paid out, the average, is about 550 guilders. These are SZV words. We have 6,000 people collecting pension. We have 2,000 that lives abroad, and we have 4,000 that are on the island. So the average is about 550 guilders. No, not even $550 you could live with on this island. So pension is something that we need to address seriously. Now, the first thing when you say you're going to address pension, workers, unions gonna say, I can't pay no more premiums. The businesses also will say, I cannot pay no more premium, which is true. In reality, I mean, we're not solving the problem. So we need to come up now with an alternative pension system, a supplemental pension. You understand me? To be able to bring 500-600 guilders, or to match people at least to minimum wage, at least for now, to minimum wage. And I make it clear, listen, bro, St. Martin is a country that developed that through services, and goods and services that pass through this country here, many thousands here and abroad are able to benefit from. But St. Martin is truly not benefiting from it. St. Martin on foreign exchange, I could go as far as the last 2008 report, 2008-9 report from the central government before the 10-10-10 stated that St. Martin was generating 90 million guilders in foreign exchange yearly, whereby they used to share it 50-50 with the central government. So if St. Martin used to get 45 million, so we know how much million is coming from foreign exchange. It's not being told, it's not being said, but this is what the report the central government back then showed. Only at the end they show us the true picture, maybe a true picture of what they were collecting. I'm not afraid to say that if we need 0.5% more from monies that are leaving this country here, because at least it's money that is generated here, money that is not staying here. For us to better the life of our people, then we have to be bold enough to say, let us do it, and let us raise the pension without touching people's salaries again. Let everybody in this economy, now I could hear the business people them already, but they don't contribute anyhow sufficiently. Okay, so I care less about that. I care about the worker. I care about the St. Martin people. I care about those who living with me here on this island, who gonna live here with me all the days. You understand me? If 0.5%, if 1% can generate 90 million, let's say in a downtime like this, we are generating 60 million, and 0.5% additional can bring us an additional 30 million. If 550 guilders is the average that is being paid, that means a 3.3 million is what we need monthly to give people a supplement of 500 to 600 guilders. So some people who's collecting 9 gonna reach the 15, some who's collecting maybe 8 gonna reach average of 15. People who collecting 100 and 200 dollars can reach 500 to 600 guilders at least for now, and we are lifting people out of poverty, because we can no longer live this blind life of having people living among us with 300 and 400 and 500 and 600 and 700 guilders in this society here today. And people, we don't even need to have to please anyone and to be able to take bold decisions where this is concerned. Let us raise the foreign exchange tax to 1.5 and take care of the poor, of those elderly there. Let us take care of little money also to those that need something else, because all the money that is being generated is leaving the country. Yesterday alone, investigators then shut down two.
I was just about to touch that.
two money exchange places. Yeah. It's million that is leaving this country and not staying in this country. You understand me? And many will get mad with you, and the businesses, you're going to hear them go, yeah, but it's not your money anyhow, because you put it on the price of the goods that you're selling, you sell it back to the people. But the nice thing with it, and as I said to them, listen, if we put this thing here in a local loop economy whereby you doesn't collect this money, you get a card, you spend it back in this economy. So everybody, you got a shop, you got a restaurant, you got a store, you got a machine from the system, and the money stays in the economy, circulating back into the economy. So you doesn't get it in cash, but you get it in, you want to pay your rent, you want to pay GB, you want to pay your telephone, whatever you want to do, you want to go to the supermarket, this self will benefit from this one. But you know what? Bottom line is that we are raising people out of poverty. And this is one of the things also people have to understand, the difference between the SMCP and other parties. Other parties could only tell you what's the book and what can be done, or they could bring crazy rhetoric about, oh, we got to raise the pension. But you can't raise the pension because you're going to hurt business or you're going to hurt the worker, because it's premium based. That's an old vehicle. Don't touch it. Leave it live its own life until we come in with a new mechanism.
Correct.
But we need to come up with a supplemental system. And the supplemental system we could come up with is such as what I'm explaining. Let us come with one. Where you're going to get the money, sir? Go with the foreign exchange. Be boldly. Take 1.5% now for foreign exchange, and then lift people out of poverty.
I'm glad to hear you talking about that. You want to chime in there, Linda?
Yeah, what I want to say, a change can come about, such as when business people, such as hotels industry that has great employees, I believe they should be taxed as employers yearly. They come about, and 10 years after, 5 years after, they claim bankruptcy, and the employees get hurt. And those monies, they are going scot-free with it. But a local man having a business, every month he has to pay tax. I mean, I don't find that as helping the economy.
And of course,
that's killing us.
That's killing us. Tax compliance is another big issue.
So,
big issue out there. And again, you know, I'm going back to Butte there just now, and he's talking about one of the ways to get an additional supplement pension and taking those bold steps. You know, these are kind of steps that we
need the seats.
You know,
we need the seats,
and we need the seats to do it, because legislation is going to be a part of that issue, and we are not afraid to take those steps.
Yes.
And to make sure that we're that, because that's going to be our job in Parliament, to legislate,
yes,
to put everything that we have behind that, so that we can see these things come to fruition. You know, we are all, again, it's about the people, it's about the social issues that we're facing. You know, again, I am not talking about concrete and steel. You know, how, because that gonna come.
That, yes, of course.
It's gonna come. But right now, the needs of people of St. Martin really need to be met.
And Peter, the law is already there. It's written, it's there, we're using it, it's 1%. All Parliament got to do is change the law, 1.5. And we will be able to generate X amount. Now what we have to do in the meantime, create a system whereby, and if it takes 3 months, if we're collecting 3 million a month, no problem. If it take a year before people start collecting, that fund already has generated 36 million into the fund. You understand me? And we can then start making payout. Maybe because of having such a reserve, we can even increase everybody with 100 guilders. What happened? Yeah, sadly, I said already, if you're living abroad, you doesn't get this. You have to be living here in St. Martin. And if you come tomorrow, you're not getting it, you have to be able to sit here for 3 years at least, contribute to this economy. You understand me? And then you come in. So don't think you're gonna fly in our plane and come in and then spend 2 months and then start collecting it and then go back out again. We're not too good about that.
Closely monitor.
But we want to lift people out of poverty. We got to get people out, and don't forget, we can have reserves that can help out in sports. We can have reserves that should help out in sport, then that should help in the social factor, so that mean can get some other social issues done. And you know what's the good thing? Because we will be able to free up some of government's budget, and then government now, only thing they have to do is manage that budget there better and bring a better living to the people, because people who no longer need that understand, because now they're getting understand by way pension. So they don't need it no more. The 500-600 guilders that they're getting from this supplement, government could take that understand and dedicate it in a better post.
Nice. If you're just tuned in, you're locked into Pearl FM 98.1, St. Martin's finest radio station. Of course, we want to thank management of the radio station for allowing us to be here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. sharp. We kick off State of the Nation. We want to thank management for allowing us to be here. Again, thank you, Pearl. Thank you, Arlene, wherever you may be, for allowing us to be here. Of course, folks, if you're just tuning in, I'm Peter J. Gittins, candidate number 4 on the list for the St. Martin Christian Party. I'm joined by Linda York, candidate number 10, and of course, Alberto Butte, the original Butte, the anchor man, holding up the end of the list, candidate number 13. And we're touching the issues today, and we've been touching all the issues. Before we continue and we close off, though, I need to send a shout out to a very special family over in the South Reward area. A few years ago, I met this lovely lady by the name of Bernadette Peterson. A lot of folks know her as Bern. I call her mom. I've grown to love her and call her mom. And unfortunately, she passed away.
Yes. Condolences to
the day before.
family,
so we want to send our condolences out to Nasio and the rest of the family. I know you guys are really feeling it. It is a great loss for you. It is a great loss for us. It's a great loss for St. Martin in general. She was heavily involved in Milton Peters, the PTA. She was one of the persons getting the kids the uniforms and placing the orders and helping them out. And I can always remember, she always tell me, Peter, we need to find ways for these children. Yes. We need to decrease the price of uniform. We need to find ways to help the families so they can afford these things. Yes. And this is exactly what we're talking about here today. And we're not going to politicize her death here today, but we just want to take our time and send out our condolences to the family. She had a little fight going on, and unfortunately, the Lord had his plans. Mm-hmm. And we just want to let them know that we are here standing with you, next to you, grieving with you as well, and our condolences to you. But that brings me now to one little last point that we're going to just touch lightly, and we're going to come back on it on another show, because we bring you back with health issues on this island. We were talking about what you're doing on the Pondfill with the food program, and the quality, the benefits of having healthy food and having people, because when you as a government, these are the issues you have to look at for your people, to make sure it's not always the money. Having a good health system, having your people walking around and not dropping down, sending them away, spending millions, and they're coming back sick or dead. These are the things that we really need to look at. Your quick thoughts, 2 minutes.
Okay, listen, I think most of them condition is based on the little salary and the pension they collect. That makes them sick. You understand me? Because when the stress of loan in this country,
yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
No, serious. It's very, very serious. To see how you got to get by in this society. Second, the cost of living so high. you know. And when you look at the report that the Dutch made about St. Maarten, one of the things that came out of the report is the way of doing business on St. Maarten. It's not necessarily, because we prove it, that it can be done cheaper, it should be done better, you understand, which is bringing in the quality and those sort of things here. So it's just people's behavior of how they're doing things here on the island is what causing most of the problem. You understand me? People want an outrageous amount for their rent. You understand? That puts stress on families. Those families have to work like 20 hours and can't dedicate to their family, because I was just in court with, not in court, in the rental committee, not to deviate, but to the rental committee with a friend here, just to sit in, to listen and to advise about things. A person said, oh, I just had this amount, collecting insurance, I had this amount of money that I had to rebuild the place, etc. And that's why jack up a rent from 6 to 850. And the person collecting is on pension. Where is he going to get 450 guilders and asking for eviction? You understand me? While they have 17 rooms and they restored after a year now, so the people downstairs had to suffer because of water that's been falling in and doing, you know, all sort of thing. They have to, you know, go through the situation. You ask for eviction because the person refused to pay it. But they learned that day that you want to evict a person, and I'm saying this to general population to know, nobody can evict you, they have to request eviction. Nobody can raise a rent on you, they have to request increase of rent on you. Okay? So you don't have no right to pay no increase of rent. Let them go via the rental committee for them to get that right there established. Then they're going to come and do an assessment to see if truly it is based on that. Then we also got to go to the legislation that is done now based on market value that is pushing people into poverty, and go back to the legislation where when things was built. So you have the building value and not a market value, because the market value will push us all into poverty one day, and the most vulnerable.
And very quickly too.
Yes, because only the rich can afford it. So all these things here, you need strong people there to put this legislation, because these weak people who was there who passed this legislation is those political parties and those groups, and they're asking you to vote for them once more. They change it. So we need to change it back over, and with better legislation. You understand me? Etc. So the whole health issue now, when we go to it, we are getting a below level health service here on the island. The funds that governs health and those sort of things there at the SZV, you know, she's a management organization, are in weak condition, and monies is being used or placed in areas that should not be touched for certain things. But the whole system, if not taken care of, in 2-3 years will crash and bankrupt. If pension is not addressed, because right now the recommendation on pension is that if not raising quickly to 65, then to 67, and make people pay 150 guilders extra, it will not sustain itself. We're in deep crisis, and we need people that understand the subject to be able to go there and to really address. That's when we talk about a supplemental pension. We can't talk about the bankrupt system or an old vehicle. You keep putting a new engine in it. Where you going to run this old car? Leave it as it is. Let me work with it, but let me create a new system until we get there on that route where we believe that the kingdom government have to play its role also and see to it that people get proper health care based on equality. But that is a more longer fight and justification. You understand me? But in the meantime, let us fix the things that we can fix here in St. Maarten, put them in place. That's why we need this type of leadership here under the SMCP in there to be able to be your eyes, your mouth, because otherwise it's the general population will suffer. Yesterday, you see the shockwave to this society. The central bank closed out, Hero Bank in Curacao. People with ATM cards and whatever, and Visa and MasterCard, etc., couldn't have cards. Why? A bank with 450 million debt under a supervision of a central bank was shut down, sending ripple wave to the economy. Can you imagine what will happen if SZV no longer can pay doctors, pay for medicine, or pay for care, or pay Colombia, pay Santo Domingo, and those sort of things, because of non-decision making, because of all our blindness of not taking proper decision to bring an alternative health care or an alternative pension in place, we're living in troubled time. And we need people that are bold enough, that want to take decisions. You understand me? I took a decision to prove a point through the food market, the food fair. It's for health. And SVB has also contributed towards realizing it, in the sense that they give a small contribution in that sense because they saw the need and the importance. They know at the long run it will help
the people.
And better health means savings for themselves.
Correct.
Sadly, it's not done on a more durable or sustainable base, but they acknowledge the fact that our presence there and what we are doing is truthful, and it's going to have its effect on the society.
Well, everything starts small, and it's going to grow.
Yes.
And they're going to realize more and more, and like I said, it's definitely going to grow. Folks, you listen to State of the Nation. We are just about out of time. We had a wonderful hour today, and we want to thank you guys for joining us. Of course, in the studios with me, none other than Alberto Butte, candidate number 13 on the list, Linda York, candidate number 10 on the list, and yours truly, Peter J. Gittins, candidate number 4 on the St. Martin Christian Party. And of course, we will be there come January 9th. Make sure you grab your voting card early. Grab it early, get out the house, and make sure you go and you put that vote down for the St. Martin Christian Party. Pick a candidate, choose whichever one of us that you feel represents you the best, because this is your best choice, folks. It really is the best alternative, the best way that we can move forward, and we can only do it with your help. So we humbly ask you, we don't want the 1 seat, we want the 2. We want the 2. We want the 3. I'm candidate number 4, and I say minimum 4 is what I'm looking for.
I'll give us all 13.
Huh?
Give us all 13.
Give us a 13. We be good to go. I'll take the 8. It's a majority. I'll take the 8, because with our 8, we ain't breaking up and we ain't falling apart outside there. You understand? We're gonna be stable all the way through for 4 years. Amen. Folks, I'm gonna give each of you 30 seconds to just close out very quickly. Starting with Linda, go ahead.
It has been a pleasure here on Radio Audience together with you. I hope you all truly believe what we have said. What we say is what we mean. We are in for a change. We want to see a better in St. Martin. My name is Linda York. Once again, I am candidate number 10 on the St. Martin Christian Party. And I pray God you all reconsider and put a new team in St. Martin Christian Party that will bring newness of life for your life. God bless you.
Thank you, Linda. Alberto.
Thank you once more again, Pearl, and also Peter, for this opportunity. Peter St. Martin, the decision, you can't cry tomorrow and say that you was not given that chance once more. Einstein said you got to be madness if you can continue doing this, practicing the same stuff and expect a different result. You can't be voting for those parties, traditional parties, and expect that things will get better. You can't expect to be taking monies from them, from over the table, under the table, etc., and think that they will respect you. You need people with new ideas, not only new ideas, but with conviction also that will stand for you. We have proven already from left till right, from top to bottom of the list, what we stand for the short while that we've been there, but has not been given that opportunity. You can see a big proof there of the food program that is done there for the poor and the needy, that has blessed over 7,000 families here in St. Martin already in a short while. Not even the World Bank has done that together with Holland. So I'm saying, give us this opportunity, because we have great things, good things in line, but you cannot give us a mere support. We need overwhelming support. We need to fix pension. We need to fix health care. We need to bring social homes to this country. You understand me? We need to fix the educational system. Truly fix it. We have people here that are ready to hit the ground first day of Parliament and first day that the government is in place. But the first day of election on the 9th of January, that decision there for the future of yourself, your pension, your children and grandchildren is in your hands.
Folks, you heard it right here on Pearl 98.1. Alberta Butte telling you the facts and showing you that we have candidates that not only talk the talk, but we walk the walk. And that is very important, St. Martin. You really need to understand that. You know, here you have somebody who has gone in and said, you know what, 7,000 families, St. Martin, you know, joke, you know. 7,000 people, 7,000 families ain't no joke. You know, and there are candidates out there and tell you, yeah, give me a chance. I can show you what I'm going to do if you elect me. And we're saying this is what we are already doing. Before you even put him inside there, before you even put Linda in there, we are already doing this. And this is a conviction of the people that we have on the St. Martin people. Guaranteed delivery, guaranteed results. Folks, we want to thank you for joining State of the Nation. We're on every Wednesday right here on Pearl FM at 5 p.m. sharp. And of course, we invite you to tune in again next Wednesday for another informed session as we bring you the issues affecting you, the people of St. Martin, and showing you the alternative, the St. Martin Christian Party, your choice, come January 9th, 2020. God bless you all, and we'll see you all again next week. Peace. Hi, St. Martin. This is Peter J. Gittins, Deputy Leader of the St. Martin Christian Party and candidate number 4 on the list for this upcoming election. I'm inviting you to tune in every Wednesday right here on Pearl FM 98.1 for State of the Nation. State of the Nation, an informed look at the issues facing St. Martin. State of the Nation, sound, balanced, and progressive solutions for country St. Martin. State of the Nation, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. right here on Pearl 98.1 FM.